Hello and welcome to Mike's Garage. If you've already subscribed to our channel, thank you very much. If you haven't, please do. And when you do, please tap on the little notification bell. And if you give us a like, we like that. Thank you. Okay, we've been working on Jim's bike for quite a while, and we're getting pretty close now. We've tried to video step by step as we go and make it into a nice, useful series. We're down to the point here where it's time to adjust the valves. I get asked questions about that all the time. And when you ask me a question on adjusting valves, be sure you're asking me a question about the setup you have. By that I mean Evolution motors have been around since 1984 now, and they were produced right up to 99. And people have changed a lot of things on them, and when things are changed, you've got to account for that. Now, this particular engine has a set of Jim's Power Glide hydraulic lifters in it, and it has a set of Crane adjustable push rods. All good stuff. I put it there myself. Well, now I'm going to adjust the valves, and based on which push rod we have and which valve lifter we have, that will decide how much compression I need to put in that lifter, and I will explain that as I go along. These are, let's see, where did I put the instruction sheet? I keep instruction sheets on, you can see this one has gotten used a lot. This instruction sheet is for the Jim's lifters. And what I'm really going to talk about here is the adjustment of the push rods. We're using Jim's lifters and Crane push rods. So they're all identified down here. Gee, we show different brands of push rods. Like I said, these happen to be Cranes. There's two different thread pitches on different Crane push rods. Hence we have a thread gauge, which I actually checked this here. There's a thread gauge, and that's a 32 threads per inch. So I actually had the push rods out, and I could check them before I put them in, but they are 32 threads per inch. So we go down to the little chart, and the little chart says push rod adjustments for these lifters with those push rods. Push rod adjustments, well, for 32 threads per inch, it's 18 flats. That's wrench flats. We'll show that in a moment. So here we have, if I go down here, it says popular push rods are listed, and it says the Cranes at 32 and 24. 24 being their time savers, which is a different set that we're using. So we have 32 threads per inch. Therefore, we're going to do 18 wrench flats. Okay, we can put that away for now, keeping it handy in case I forget. Now here are the push rods that we're going to adjust first. Now if I turn the engine over, I can see, let's see, did I go the wrong way? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're going to get these at the lowest point. When I say the lowest point, I'm referring to the valve lifter going down so that it's on the heel of the cam. What you do is rotate the engine. I'm using the wheel with the spark plugs out in 5th gear. That's top gear. And I'm turning it. The exhaust valve is open and closed. Now the intake valve. By closing, I mean that lifter is going down. And we're getting onto the heel of the cam. There isn't a spark plug in there, is there, Jim?
I don't believe so, no. No.
Okay. All right, I'm going to have to do it this way. I'm watching that lifter go down, and now it's down all the way. I can see that it is bottomed out, both the intake and the exhaust. I said I could see it, I could also feel it. See, do I have an old cam laying here? No, that's all right. So here we are at the bottom.
Yeah, there's a cam. Mike's going to bring
Just
you one.
hand me one. Yeah, thank you. Okay, we've got a cam in there and we've got the lifters riding on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn that cam till the lifter is on the what we call the heel of the cam, rather than being on the lobe itself. We're actually on the heel. So if we've got, see, it's this valve and this valve, and they are on the heel, both of them. Now some cams have a lot more duration, in other words, more width to that lobe, and it's a little hard to get both of them closed at the same time. So if that really is an issue, that's all right. Just do them one valve at a time. Okay, so now what I'm doing, can you get in there and see that? Yeah. I'm extending the push rod. Now I can feel that it's in the lifter here, and it's in the rocker arm up there. And I'll turn it, and turn it, until I run out of slack. There is no more slack there. That doesn't mean open it real hard. That means there's no more slack. You've taken all the free play out of it. So now we'll get a wrench on here and hold the push rod, and we'll turn the adjuster 18 flats. 1, 2, 3, oops, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And there it is. Now we're going to take the lock nut, run it down there. Now here's the fun part. We've got a wrench on here. We're going to have a wrench on here. Now you got to hold them real good. And you don't want to strip this thing or hurt it at the same time. You want it tight. I mean tight. That one's not going anywhere but right there. Okay, that thing is solid in there. Okay, that was the intake valve. Now we'll go to the exhaust valve. We have taken all the slack out of it. And let's just get that going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay. Same deal again. We'll put this one right here, and this one right here. No, we won't. We'll do it like this, and like this. And we'll tighten this little lock nut. That is tight. Now, the push rods are pretty tight in there now. So what are we going to do? We're going to wait. We're not going to move those. We're not going to move on to the front lifters. We're not going to do anything until these bleed down. When they bleed down and I can turn those push rods with my fingers, then I'll go on to the next pair, which will be exactly like what we just now did. This was a good time to do it with the carburetor out of the way. Everything's out of the way and we could show it. So I think that pretty well does it for now. Again, when I can move these push rods, when I can rotate them with my fingers, then I'll go ahead and turn the engine over again using the rear wheel in 5th gear and the spark plugs out, and get these two lifters down to the bottom of their stroke. Again, where the rollers of the lifter are actually on the heel of the cam, then I can adjust those two push rods. You've already seen me do one pair, so that should do it. So we'll be doing more stuff here shortly, and until then, see you out on the road.